Hello. Fedor Emelianenko was a hero of mine and the greatest mixed martial artist to ever walk the earth. No one has even come close to replicating what he's done during his time of reign. Indifferent to weight class and with a 10-year undefeated streak, his greatness was, and still is, unquestionable. But what made Fedor so incredible? Let's get really deep with this. The first thing we have to note in the early stages of the mixed martial arts arena is that the Gracies had not yet proved that Jiu-Jitsu was the strongest 1-versus-1 pure discipline in mixed martial arts. The narrative was not yet set in motion. Jiu-Jitsu is a derivative of Mitsuyo Maeda bringing Kano Jigero's Judo to Brazil. But there was another student from Russia, Vasily Oshchepkov, who studied under Kano as well. Vasily, alongside Viktor Sporindinov, pioneered Sambo with wrestling forms, similarly to how the Gracies pioneered Jiu-Jitsu with Brazilian wrestling forms. Now, you can probably tell where I'm going with this. Fedor's Sambo was different, but in a way, with Kano Jigero's Judo, kind of like Jiu-Jitsu. And as a result, he basically had one of the strongest pure martial arts you could learn without anyone's radar ever really picking up on it. He didn't even make grand displays to prove Sambo was the best, the same way the Gracies did. Instead, he looked like a mixed martial artist with devastating boxing prowess. But the reality was, with this Sambo, there was no one in that era who could really grapple with him. They didn't have the knowledge, and they didn't have the techniques, but regardless, Fedor's rear naked chokes, armbars, and kimuras were legendary and spoke for themselves. He simply had a huge knowledge advantage working with one of the strongest pure disciplines one could learn, where others were still just kicking and punching. Fedor is proof that knowledge is power. Fedor's first loss in 10 years was to Brazilian mixed martial artist Fabricio Werdum, who used nothing but pure jiu-jitsu. It's ironic and even symbolic in a way if you think about it. Once the knowledge gap was covered by the Gracies, the era of the Emperor had ended. The second thing we can note is that Fedor is incredibly fast. The man is 236 freaking pounds, but he moves like a lightweight. That's just unbelievable. He has the quintessential dad bod. He literally looks like a dad who'd let you date his daughter, but would instantly kill you the moment you broke her heart. Maybe skip out on trying to date her, fellas. This is unbelievable watching Fedor move, and it's because he could move like that, there was no human being on the planet that could take his punches. Think about it. A good punch is mass times acceleration. If you already have a ton of mass, if you are 200 pounds or more, and the average human head is 11 pounds, all you really need is a bit of hand speed timed with the rotation of your body. I don't care if you've worked your neck muscle your entire life with massive steroid abuse. Your 11-pound head will not be able to deal with a 236-pound man moving his hands and body that freaking fast. Taking that punch is a death sentence for anyone. Dan Henderson's legendary 8-bomb is a perfect example of that as well, and so is Stipe Miocic. The last thing I want to cover is Fedor's iced and emotional gaze. There is nothing flowing through this man's mind or heart. He is in the quintessential flow state with almost this look of depression in his eyes, if not depression. But in that high theta, emotionless mode, tampering with my own consciousness, I know the world just softly passes by in slow motion, which explains why Fedor's timing was unparalleled. The world just moved in slow motion for him. He looked like a glitch in the Matrix at times, starting from a standstill. Then the moment his icy gaze saw a twitch, his whole body would fly into his opponent's face like a featherweight. Really, I still have trouble believing how fast this giant man moves. This is only possible when you have no cortisol running through your bloodstream, thus no stress, no muscle tension, just a relaxed body capable of molding and whipping itself to the moment. He had no thoughts interfere with his actions, but instead, in that present moment, he looked like a puppet being divinely strung by a higher tier being. Effortless, flowing, flying, colliding his giant body into the face of his opponents. Fedor is flow state expressed to the highest level, and when you see it, you know the person feels engaged. The person feels alive. But at the same time, there's just this empty sadness in their eyes. A loneliness we know can never tread the same path as the common mortal. Yet for that same reason, we stare up at the ones possessed. We stare up at the last emperor, Fedor Emelianenko, in awe. Thank you guys for joining me on this video. Please don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed. It's good karma. And until next time, peace.